Marvel Studios has officially cast the Silver Surfer, and as rumors over the last few months suggested, yes, the Silver Surfer is in fact going to be female. Now let's talk about how the Silver Surfer is not actually female. I know it's hard to comprehend, but let me explain. First up, let me just explain why I didn't talk about this right when the news hit. I was actually out of town. I didn't bring anything to record anything in case something dropped. I was out at the live AEW and AEW Collision taping near Boston, so I was watching professional wrestling and enjoying it, and I figured, you know what, I'll talk about this when I get home. Of course, fully well knowing that I was going to get hit with the, "He's hiding the truth. He can't talk about it." Which is not the case. Go watch AEW Dynamite. You'll see me and my wife on the camera multiple times as she was dressed as one of the wrestlers. We had signs. Yeah, there you go. You can watch me on TV. Anyways, now that I got that covered, let's get to what happened. So Julia Garner has been cast as the Silver Surfer. Now, of course, the griftiest of grifters are lying about everything that's actually happened, how she's playing the Silver Surfer, and why she is not, in fact, playing the male Silver Surfer. So before we get to that, let me rewind a bit. So the Surfer most people are thinking of, the most well-known and famous one, is this Silver Surfer, aka the Herald of Galactus, aka Norrin Radd, a man from the planet Zen-La, who then becomes the Herald of Galactus and does his evil bidding, up until he finally breaks away, becomes a hero, and then he's thrown to the wayside by Marvel because he's too powerful and they don't want to involve him with major events. Now, the reason I have to talk about that is because it's very related to Julia Garner's version of the character, because she is not playing the Silver Surfer Norrin Radd, but people are overlooking this and jumping to conclusions, and or straight up ignoring the facts and what's been reported, because even in the initial report, which was quickly collaborated by other outlets, but of course Deadline dropped it, they confirmed that she's been cast, along with the fact that she's playing the Silver Surfer, the variant of the Silver Surfer, named Shala Bal. This is an actual character who's been featured in cartoons, in comics, has a long lineage and a legacy related to the Silver Surfer, being a very important character in that universe. And more importantly, she does not take away from Norrin Radd at all. She actually enhances his story. She is actually the empress of the planet that Norrin Radd is from. She is from Zen-La. But what's more important here that people aren't looking at or talking about is that in the multiverse on Earth X, she ends up being the Silver Surfer there when her powers are granted to her by either Galactus or Norrin Radd himself, and they become a tag team, a duo, for lack of a better term. Well, since this is a multiverse film, as it's now been confirmed, do the math here, right? She's gonna be a variant of the Silver Surfer that's completely different, because this film isn't set in the MCU proper, and then when we get to the MCU proper, we can then have Norrin Radd. But they're doing something completely different here. So, I'm cool with this. I'm okay with it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's been like over a dozen Galactus Heralds. And if we tossing just the multiverse then, I mean, we're talking so many different versions. She's playing a different version. Norrin Radd is still out there, and guaranteed when we get to the MCU proper, he's going to end up being an important piece going forward, because Kevin Feige previously talked about how much he loves the character of Silver Surfer, specifically Norrin Radd, and he was even on hand seeing how Fox was botching it, but he couldn't do anything to stop it, even though he tried. So, don't worry about it, and if you were swayed by the grifters, well, you fell for their grift again. So, I don't know what to tell you.